Welcome. Welcome to Local is Global, Bridging Domestic Action and Global Impact. I'm Marci McPhee. I'm Associate Director of the International Center for Ethics, Justice, and Public Life, one of the co-creators of DEIS Impact. I'm very pleased to welcome you to tonight's event. Your presence here says something about the Brandeis community, that members of the Brandeis community are hungry for insight into how to make a difference with world problems so vast. One of the things that I hear most often is, I'm only one person. And my response to that is always, who do you know that is two people? Martin Luther King was one person. Mahatma Gandhi was one person. Ruth Messenger is one person. And you are one person. The other obstacle that I commonly hear is, I don't have time. And let me remind you that Martin Luther King had 24 hours, Ruth Messenger has 24 hours, and you have 24 hours. You're here because you care about what's going on in the world and you want to change things. Ruth Messenger is here because she is going to tell us how she, as one person, uses her 24 hours to be a change agent. We're honored to have as our special guest Brandeis' own Laurence Simon, the co-founder and the first president of American Jewish World Service. With Ruth as the president 25 years later, this is one of the unexpected benefits of Ruth's visit, that it served to uncover Laurence Simon as a bit of a hidden treasure here at Brandeis. You'll hear more about Larry later and more from Larry as well. This is the Keynote Address, the centerpiece of DEIS Impact, a week-long, remarkable festival of social justice. DEIS Impact is short for Brandeis, which I needed to explain to a few folks. One person came up to me and said, I Googled this word DEIS, what does this mean? And she said, I Googled it, nothing came up. I dream of the day when you Google DEIS and what comes up is social justice. I dream of the day when you Google DEIS and what comes up is a campus community that cares about world problems and neither, as Ruth Messenger said yesterday, devolves into mushy sentimentality nor allows themselves the luxury of being overwhelmed, but forging forward with whatever they have, doing whatever they can to address the social injustices they see. The 30 events during this week, this DEIS Impact Festival of Social Justice, have been sponsored by 32 different student clubs and academic departments. A remarkable first attempt at pulling together various strands of social justice on campus. This week-long festival is the result of plans that began last summer when Herbie Rosen, undergraduate student union president, Miriam Wong, then of what was then Positive Foundations, now PAC, and David Weinstein of my office and I brainstormed the framework for this week, and we were astonished at the result and the number of groups that responded, with each club or department asking, what does social justice have to do with us? For example, what does drumming have to do with social justice? For Nimbaya, a group of women drummers from Guinea and West Africa, social justice means defying strict taboos thousands of years old that restrict drumming to only men. And many of these women have paid the price that usually comes when you defy taboos that are thousands of years old. These first women drummers ever in Guinea are coming to Brandeis on Monday as part of DEIS Impact, drumming their way towards equality for women. What do children's books have to do with social justice? For Professor Jane Hale's comparative literature and experiential learning classes, it means distributing children's books in the Waltham area, using books in Haitian Creole, Spanish, and English, and in the African nation of Lesotho. These picture books help children to feel pride in their native heritage, as well as helping them learn to read. A family read-in, part of DEIS Impact. What do Jewish, Christian, and Muslim ancient texts say about social justice, and how do these scriptural concepts play out in contemporary settings? Brandeis professors and chaplains tackled these questions as part of DEIS Impact. One last example from the more than 30 events this week. What does Taekwondo have to do with social justice? The Taekwondo Club not only works to perfect their skill at martial arts and to work on self-defense skills, but asks the larger question about why women even need self-defense skills. And as part of DEIS Impact, the Taekwondo Club brought Brandeis alumna Linda Lytle Holmstrom, Brandeis PhD class of 1970, back to campus to speak about gender-based violence worldwide and at home. DEIS Impact, a remarkable milestone in Brandeis's commitment to social justice. Join us at some of the events the remainder of this week and on Monday. You have the booklet on your chairs. And now our keynote speaker tonight, President Ruth Messenger, special guest former President Larry Simon, are not the only presidents in attendance today. We're honored to have Brandeis President Fred Laurence up next, followed by Undergraduate Student Union President Herbie Rosen. We haven't had so many presidents at Brandeis since Jimmy Carter spoke in January and Bill Clinton spoke in December of the same year. But before I invite President Laurence up to the podium, let me give a special thanks to the Legacy Fund, whose generous contribution has made this keynote possible. We're honored to have Legacy Fund founder Jules Bernstein of the class of '57 with us tonight, in addition to being a speaker at one of the DEIS Impacts events earlier this week, and a special guest at several events throughout the week. Thank you, Jules. I'd also like to thank David Nathan at the Development Office, Jackie Blesso and all the Hyatt team, Ellen Smith of the Hornstein Program, the Ethics Center team, and the DEIS Impactors, the student core committee that made this possible. Thank you all. Thank you for being here. President Laurence.